So this is just going to be a summary of like the game so far, a brief review. Nothing too in depth, it's just kind of the basis of the game, my thoughts on it so far. After all, this just got released on the 31st of August, so with that being said, let's get it. First things first, let's talk about the two main things you can do in this game, which are PvP and PvE. PvE in this game starts you off by getting introduced into Kakashi, who explains to you this VR system that basically creates these virtual scenarios you can play through to practice, train, and grind through. There are a good amount of missions that are different from the previous ones, but after you complete them all, they all will give you the same missions again, but on harder difficulty. After completing a mission, they'll give you rewards such as jutsus, coins, and scrolls. Scrolls come in different rarities, but are basically the loot box of the game. In the first half of the missions you get are from NPCs standing around with exclamation over their head, pretty much MMO style, and the NPCs themselves are actual Naruto characters you'll recognize, such as Gaara, Choji, Boruto, Rock Lee, Mitsuki, etc, etc. A bunch of them are scattered across the hub and will probably ask to do more missions once there are more content. Then going into the gameplay of the PvE. Now every mission you start has a cutscene of the characters you'll be fighting alongside or against, and with a little bit of dialogue in between fights. Most of the missions will consist of you fighting a bunch of foot soldiers from different villages, 10-tailed monsters, or white zetsus. Then leading up to fighting either the Akatsuki, members of Konoha, or even boss monsters such as the Tailed Beast, Susanoo, or the Summoned Beast. You can do these missions solo or with people to help out on the hard one. Most of the time you'll be grinding these PvE missions so you can unlock new jutsus from your master, and that's mainly so you won't get your ass handed to you in a PvP. After all, you start off with 2 useless jutsus. Next is the PvP, the main event of this game. In the hub you'll have to talk to Shikamaru to get to the Hokage's office, which then leads you to Naruto, and then you can pick, at the moment, 2 game modes. Objective based 4v4 or just a straight 4v4 deathmatch. The maps ranges from the Hidden Rain, Sand, Leaf, Cloud, and Konoha. And every game starts you off with a preview of the enemy teams and yours. Gives you a chance to look at everyone's outfits in class basically. Then begins the fun part. The combat itself is pretty straightforward. The targeting system is decent, with of course having to move in third person while running and doing a bunch of parkour. You pretty much treat this like a cross between Overwatch and For Honor. And by For Honor, the 4v4 skirmish dominant aspect. Everything else is pretty spot on as far as the amount of jutsus and the one ultimate you have, which is pretty close to League and just about any other game that has like kind of the idea. In the game you are given 2 basic jutsus to have and 1 ultimate jutsu, on top of having a light attack spam and a heavy attack spam. You even have a substitution, much like the one in the Storm series if you're getting dicked, only you just have 1 sub and it takes about 10 seconds for it to come back, so you pretty much have to use that shit wisely. Not a whole lot of things to use, which makes the gameplay not too easy but not too hard. Once you get used to it, you'll find yourself surfing around the map, playing smart, and getting innovative with their positioning and jutsu timing. Plenty of jutsus to try out, and with there being 4 classes, you can play test them all to see which fits your playstyle the best. Next is how you get your jutsus. Training under your master. You will go to Sasuke, to which he will prompt you this list of Naruto characters you can pick to train under as disciples. Now they don't really train you specifically or anything, it's more or less, here, pick a dude, level up, you level up their training stats too, and you unlock the jutsu that character uses in the show, and you can use it too. That's basically it. So because I pre-ordered the game, I unlocked Pain as a master early on and chose him as my master. And as I leveled up, I unlocked all of his abilities from the Almighty Push, Universal Pull, and Planetary Devastation. And because there are 4 classes you can choose and play, there are 5 masters for each class that you can train under and unlock their jutsus. Here's a list of all the characters that you can unlock to train under and learn new abilities. So as I said before, there are 4 different classes, and the 4 being attack types, defense types, range types, and support types. Pretty self-explanatory. Mine is the attack type, so that would mean I would have to train under Naruto, Kakashi, Rock Lee, Boruto, and Pain. I can learn any of their movesets, fix up my own loadout, and that's pretty much it. Next is Tenten, the shopkeeper. Now remember what I said about scrolls? Yeah, scrolls seem to be a big part of this game, just like any leveling system to reward you with a loot box that gives you a cool cosmetic. To open your scrolls, you go to Tenten for that, that's it. Aside from wanting to purchase items such as cool weapons, costumes, face paint, and even new hairstyles, since this game can give you duplicates, you can sell those to Tenten as well. And that's pretty much the only things you come to Tenten for. You'll probably go there a lot, so long as you keep unlocking new scrolls. Now moving on to Sakura, the innkeeper. Here you'll find you have many options to change your character's abilities, class, appearance, such as clothes and accessories, and you get the option to change your character's physical appearance, or even make a whole redo on your character as a whole. You'll find yourself here a lot of the times mainly to change out your jutsus and to see what cool outfits you unlock from the scrolls. One of the downsides is the exclamation of the new items you receive, and it's quite annoying. You see, unless you equip it, it stays there forever, and I've seen it already, and it doesn't take it away, even if you hover over it. So essentially, it forces you to equip it, which is a waste of time. If you have a fuck ton of things that you haven't equipped, then yikes. And that's pretty much the game itself. My first impressions and final thoughts are pretty good. A decent 8 out of 10. More or less, the PvE sessions are fun. You get these fun little scenarios you play through that never really happen in Naruto. Basically, it's not a story mode, but you get to play through it as if you're actually fighting these characters. So it spices things up. PvP aspect is my personal favorite. The idea of the game where you can wall run and use jutsus freely in a team fight kind of matter is pretty damn sweet. Aside from the server lag, which happens from time to time, the game itself was pretty much what I expected. Since it just came out, there's still plenty of time for improvement or more content, of course, but so far they just got the basic foundation there for sure. The idea of training under a master is pretty interesting. You have scrolls that act as loot boxes, and character customizations that make you feel like you're playing an MMO. Once again, a good 8 out of 10. Anyways, that's all for the review. It's been your boy Kaiju. Thanks for watching. Peace.